Hello, everybody. My name is Rich Chisholm, and this is the Smash Mouth and Smoke Show. Well, tomorrow's the big day, and tonight I decided I'm going to put up the most substantive video that I've done so far. First off, we're going to start off talking a little bit about me, and then maybe a little bit about some of the happenings with the Steelers. First and foremost, my name is Rich Chisholm, short for Richard, of course, and I am from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, originally. I currently live in the Washington, D.C. metro area, specifically in Southern Maryland. And I'm a lifelong Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I became a Steeler fan at 10 years old in the town where I'm from, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is the capital. Probably about half the area are Eagles fans, and the other half of the area are Steelers fans, in spite of the fact that it's much closer to Philadelphia than it is to Pittsburgh. Ironically, me becoming a Steelers fan had little to do with being in Pennsylvania, and had really to do, my earliest memory anyway, I was 10 years old watching the Super Bowl between the Steelers and the Cowboys, and my father asked me which team am I rooting for, and I remember liking the team with how the team with the black helmets looked more than I did the team with the star helmet. And ever since then, I've been a bona fide Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I am married, 3 children, all grown, youngest in college at the moment, and 3 grandchildren. At any rate, that's just a little bit about me. As far as the show, I want to appreciate you guys for hanging in there. It's been a little bit of an uneven start to it, as you will, largely because I've never done this before. I'm learning as I'm going. I don't really know what I'm doing all the way yet, or what this is or is not going to grow into, but I'm certainly going to try to have as much fun as I can with it. And that's it. We'll see how this goes, and hopefully this grows together, and hopefully I give you guys something out of this as I move forward in this journey. And that's it. That's enough about me right now. You guys can ask me any questions if you want to. I am actually sipping some bourbon. This is nothing fancy. This is so I have just my normal, what I like to sip regularly. I really enjoy Heaven Hill. I just think for the pricing point, it is an outstanding bourbon. It's very flavorful. Approximately $50 for the 5th. Not a super expensive brand, but just a nice bourbon for the price point, and probably the bourbon I buy most often. And so, just having some of that. Normally, now I'm on the rocks guy. Whenever I'm trying a new bourbon, obviously I always try it in a more of a. I have a little taster glasses. And yes, you try it straight up and everything like that. Just to get the profile and things like that. And there are certain bourbons I will never even put ice in, obviously. But in general, I'm kind of an on the rocks guy. I do have the ice spheres and all that, so I do a lot of that stuff too. But tonight I just went. I'm tired. It was a long day. Did a lot of work around the house. Chilling now. Decided to make the video and just pour me one on the rocks. So cheers, and here's to the Super Bowl tomorrow. Now, things to talk about. One of the things I haven't been able to get around to talk about it yet, because of everything else that I had going on, is the transition in Pittsburgh, the hiring of Mike McCarthy and Mike McCarthy's coaching staff. Excuse me. First of all, say a little bit on Tomlin, and you guys have heard me mention this, I think, in a prior video. I do believe it was time for Tomlin to step down. I'm appreciative of, I'm appreciative of what Tomlin's done here, but I think, at least for me, Tomlin's legacy is a bit uneven. And maybe we can talk about that sometime down the road. I don't want to take over this video right now, talking about my viewpoint on Tomlin's run with Pittsburgh. Certainly it started off fantastic. The last decade or so has been not so much. And so, you know, there's a lot up and down about my viewpoints on Mike Tomlin as a head coach. But that's for another day. I respect him for recognizing that perhaps it was time. And so he stepped down. And in comes Mike McCarthy, which was a surprise for me. The Steelers typically like to go for young defensive minds. And so I did somewhat think they were going to do something like that. Although I preferred for them to hire an offensive coach. I won't say that necessarily I was hoping it was going to be Mike McCarthy. I would have liked to have been someone maybe from the Rams staff or something like that. That Sean McVay coaching tree seems to rarely miss, you know, and so I certainly would have liked to have seen something like that. I don't really know what to make of this Mike McCarthy hire. The average lifespan for a head coach in Pittsburgh is approximately 15 years, give or take. I don't see Mike McCarthy being around here for 15 years. So makes it really an interesting and curious hire. We'll see what McCarthy can do. I'm going to try to be, you know, I mean, we don't have any choice, you know, but I'm going to try to be open-minded about it and see how this unfolds. I, for one, will not necessarily be upset if they don't have a great season next year. I think all this nonsense about never having a losing season just kind of became a monster in and of itself. Became the monkey on the back, if you will, or the elephant in the room. And, you know, so I personally am not going to be upset if they have a losing season for once. Maybe it'll help them find a quarterback in the next year's draft or something like that. But at any rate, you know, it's the McCarthy show, and, you know, we will see how it goes, man. I do like some of his staff hires. And that's what, when they hired McCarthy, I was disappointed. And then I said, you know, well, we can look to the staff hires and see what it looks like. Now, there's a group of people who are upset because he's hiring a whole bunch of people he has some kind of connection or such and such with. And I don't understand people being upset about that, though. I believe most coaches hire people they've had some past interaction with of some sort, or knowledge of in some way. So I don't think like this is a McCarthy or still a love fest thing. I think many coaches tend to reach out to guys that they've encountered previously for key roles on their staff when they're available to do that. So I don't know that that's anything abnormal. Although granted, I'll acknowledge that I haven't exactly gone and researched it and confirmed it one way or the other, but it just doesn't seem to me like that's something that would be overly abnormal. At any rate, that said, some of the staff hires I kind of like. You know, I kind of like the offensive coordinator, Brian Angelicio. I will murder that man's name for life, I'm sure. He was the passing game coordinator, if you will, from Minnesota, which is a good offense, in my opinion. And so, although I was hoping they would get Scott Totin out of New Orleans, the quarterback coach down there, because I gotta say, I really love how he developed Tyler Shook. And I know our quarterback situation in Pittsburgh may be needy of somebody like that. But, you know, that said, Brian is certainly a welcome member of the staff. I get that McCarthy's going to be the play caller on Sundays, but that doesn't lessen the importance of Brian's addition to the staff. Obviously, he will be heavily involved in the game plan coming together week to week and everything like that, in spite of the fact of McCarthy actually calling the plays. hopefully, he will bring some of the aspects of the offense that Minnesota ran, and they just come up with something new and something fresh. That's what we can hope for. Right? I believe they'll score more points, certainly over the anemic Arthur Smith offense. I don't know if that means we're going to be any better of a football team overall, but hey, it'd be nice to sit down and watch the Steelers play football, and every week see them struggle to make it to 20. So I'm in for that. Also, I like the defensive coordinator Patrick Graham as well, and I'm using my laptop for some references here. But I do like the defensive coordinator Patrick Graham as well. There's a lot of people who are like, well, the Raiders never had that bomber defense and things of that nature. But I do know that what I know about this guy is he is extremely well respected around the league. He is regarded as an extremely high quality coach, and I think a lot of times, sometimes you got to have the horses, right? I don't know whether or not we should be considered having the horses per se in Pittsburgh, but we have a lot of pieces on defense that I really like, and I'm not talking about the T.J. Watts, and of course, I love Cameron Hayward, but I understand, he's at the end of his career. I'm not really talking about him, but you look at the young guy like Derek Harmon, obviously, you look at Nick Herbig. I believe Nick Herbig, in particular, is a beast, man. If anybody who knows football, take a minute and go look up Nick Herbig's pass rush win rate. Go check it out. It's astonishingly good. He is nearly unblockable at times. And it's so good that they often played with 3 outside linebackers on the field because they can't keep him on the bench. In many ways, to me, T.J. Watt's kind of in his way. So, at any rate, and then of course that kid we got out of Ohio State just this past year, Jack Sawyer. Man, that guy didn't get on the field obviously as often as Nick Herbig did, but when he got on the field, he made the most of his opportunities. He looks like something too. So from a pass rush standpoint, I believe the Steelers defense is deep. I like the young pieces on the defensive line with Derek Harmon and Y.A. Black. Of course, Keanu Benton. I just think they have a nice young core on the defensive line. And look, even in the secondary, Joey Porter is obviously a long-term piece there. I kind of like Jalen Ramsey, man. I mean, listen. At free safety, yeah, I'll take Ramsey at free safety. I didn't think he was a liability, personally. Asante Samuel is interesting to me. He was very good at when he was with the Chargers before his injury. I just wonder, with the full off season, if he stuck, because I think he may be a free agent. I don't think they signed him to a long-term deal. I believe he was kind of a mid-season, one-year contract pickup thing. Practice squad guy is how he started. But I'd consider seeing if I can hang on to him because, the pedigree is there, right? Obviously, he's not going to be expensive to keep. I'd consider keeping Samuel around and see if he can recapture his old form and give him a full training camp in the system and everything like that. So, I think that the Steelers have some pieces to coach on defense that may be better than what Patrick Graham has had in his previous team defense incarnations with the Raiders and elsewhere. And so, we'll see what he can do with it, right? So that said, I think that McCarthy's staff hires have been fine. Kind of looking forward now to see what this group puts together in training camp. But first up, before we get to all that, there will be the Super Bowl. And then after that, in a couple of weeks, there will be the Combine. And then, we'll be heading to the draft. And I'm looking forward to all those items. We'll have plenty to talk about as those things unfold. Speaking of things to talk about regarding tomorrow, when I do launch the live stream, I believe it will be after 4 p.m. As I said, I'm learning some of this stuff as I go along. I did not realize that I had to activate my live stream portion first and wait 24 hours for it to be approved or something like that. I did that today around 4 something. So about 24 hours from there, I should be able to activate it and see what happens. So, fingers crossed on that one. But irregardless, I will definitely be dialing in to Mark Holmes, aka Jobu Sports. I'll be dialing into his live stream tomorrow for a portion of time, and there's a couple guys. Assuming I get my live stream up running without incident, I'll definitely expect to have jumping in on mine as well, as I said to you guys in the video from last night. Other than that, man, let me know what you guys think about the coaching staff or the Steelers or any other topics you want to talk about. I'd love to respond to some of you guys, possibly on a live stream tomorrow. Anybody who wants to post any comments or ask any questions, please feel free. And other than that, man, thank you guys for hanging out and listening to me rant. I am a hat guy, so you will see me with hats a lot. Just putting that out there. But other than that, appreciate you guys checking out the video. Please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I really need you guys' support. I appreciate your support. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow for the first time doing a live stream. We'll see how that turns out. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And catch up with you tomorrow. Have a good evening.